Hello, I'm Roxanne Garcia from News Talk 710 KURV, and joining me is Al Perez. He is running as a Republican for Sheriff in Hidalgo County. Thanks for joining us. First question, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. First of all, I'm not originally from the Valley. I come from Los Angeles. I grew up I was raised in Los Angeles, and I came to the Valley back in 1985, so I've been here a little over 30 years.
Mm-hmm. A little bit about your background growing up in LA, maybe?
Sure. At 17, I joined the United States Marine Corps, and I was a Marine Corps for about almost 7 years. Mm-hmm. And when I got out, I moved to Houston, and I got into security and law enforcement over there.
Because you were a Marine, how do you think that'll help you as sheriff of this county?
Well, you know what, and I really pride myself. I believe that I went to one of the greatest schools of leadership, and that is the United States Marine Corps.
So how do you think it's going to help us here?
Well, absolutely leadership
Yeah.
is needed. There's no two ways around it. Discipline, and I have a lot of confidence in myself because of everything I've had the opportunity to do while being in law enforcement for over 30 years.
What made you decide to run as sheriff for Hidalgo County?
Well, if you don't know, I ran for sheriff 2 years ago, and I didn't win, but you know what? My intention was to let the sitting sheriff do what he was going to do and see what kind of improvements and so forth. And unfortunately, I wasn't satisfied with it. Mm-hmm. I really believe there's a lot more that can be done. Mm-hmm. You see, the sheriff's office is one of the largest, if not the largest, agency in South Texas. And you can't go in there doing on-the-job training. Mm-hmm. You can't go in, well, I'm going to try this, and I'm going to try that. You really need to know what needs to be done. And I don't know everything, but I know what needs to be done.
What do you think, if you win, what would you like to improve as sheriff of this county? What maybe 3 things off the top of your head you would like to change once you get the title of sheriff of this county?
One of the most important thing to me is the relationship between the people of Hidalgo County and the sheriff's office. Mm-hmm. You got a lot of people that don't want to call because they don't trust us. They don't want anything to do with us because of what happened. Mm-hmm. I want to put that all behind us. I want to start a whole new era as far as the sheriff's department is concerned. And, be more accountable, more transparency, actually show the taxpayers where their money's going. I got nothing to hide. It's their money. That's how we operate, because of their money.
Is there any role a sheriff can play when it comes to combating corruption here in the Rio Grande Valley? Sadly enough, the Valley is known for the corruption that goes on here. So is there anything a sheriff can do to help combat that?
Absolutely. I do plan to put together a anti-corruption unit, sort of an anti-corruption / public integrity, and people will be able to come to us, and if they have what I call the criteria for an offense, first-hand information, or they saw it themselves, then it would give us the opportunity to conduct an investigation and let us determine if something did happen that was illegal or not. And then, of course, we can present it to the district attorney and a grand jury.
What do you think? You moved down here in '85 in the Rio Grande Valley from LA. Being here for so many years, what do you think is the biggest problem we face in the Rio Grande Valley from a sheriff's standpoint?
Well, it's real crazy because the sheriff position, to me, it shouldn't be political. You're hiring a chief of police for the county. And many things should come into light. Experience, knowledge, what have you done? How can you better? And all these things are really not taken into consideration. A lot of times it's what political party you're affiliated with and who and or who donates money to you. And it shouldn't be that way. It really shouldn't, because what the taxpayers of Hidalgo County are actually doing, they're hiring a chief of police for the county.
You speak about experience. Can you tell us a little bit about how many years you've served as a police officer or in the sheriff's department?
Sure. I've served in many different capacities. I've been a dispatcher, I've been a jailer, a patrolman, a sergeant, a lieutenant, a captain, a chief deputy, an assistant chief of police. And I forgot, probably one of the most important that I had a lot of pleasure in doing. I was the director of the police academy for about 3 years. So I've been a trainer for about 26, 27 years. And to train somebody coming in the door that wants to be a police officer and putting them all the way through the academy. And now I see a lot of my former cadets as police officers, supervisors, lieutenants, chiefs of police. So that makes me feel very well, very good, because of the fact that I had something to do with their careers. So I've had a lot to do with many, many things, and I'm real proud of that.
You talked about the different roles you've played throughout your career in law enforcement. Has there already been a consistency that you've seen in the different departments?
Well, I've worked for different departments, and police departments are very much like the sheriff's office. The jobs are very, very similar. I think the only difference between some police departments and the sheriff's office is the sheriff's office doesn't investigate motor vehicle accidents, where the police departments do. But other than that, calls for service, it's basically the same. The county on one end probably gets a larger volume of that. But I've learned something from every department I've worked at.
Is there any last words you'd like to say to our listeners? Or I should ask you first, why should our citizens vote for you as sheriff?
I served my country as a United States Marine, and I've served our state and our communities here as a police officer and other titles here in Hidalgo County. And at the end of the day, who would you entrust, your family with? My priority is the safety and protection of you and your family. That is it. I have other things on platform, but if I can't accomplish that one, nothing else really matters. Because I want to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm doing everything I could to make sure you and your family are safe in a safe environment, both outside as well as at home.
Are there any last words you'd like to tell our listeners about you and why they should vote for Al Perez for sheriff?
Folks, I want you to please consider my experience and my knowledge, and definitely what I'm telling you about the protection, safety of you and your family. Because unfortunately, this position, that's what it comes down to. And I know that I can make great improvements. All I need is an opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's Al Perez. He's running for sheriff of Hidalgo County in the Republican ticket. I'm Roxanne Garcia. Thanks for joining us.